Ida B. Wells Barnett was an American hero who, throughout her lifetime, battled sexism, racism, and violence. She was a skilled journalist, feminist, and abolitionist. She dedicated her life to social and political activism, specifically to suffrage, abolitionism, the women's rights movement, and African American civil rights movement. Wells was born enslaved in Holly Springs, Mississippi in 1862. She was the oldest daughter of James and Lizzie Wells. Her parents became politically active in the Reconstruction era when slavery had just ended. She went to Rusk College but was expelled after arguing with the university president. In 1878, both her parents had passed due to yellow fever, so she became a teacher to support the family. On a train from Memphis to Tennessee, she was forced to move to the African American car even though she had already bought a first-class ticket. She ended up suing the train company for the discrimination against her. That moment had motivated her to be a journalist. She had previously been a writer under the moniker Lola and published her newspapers about racial injustice and free speech. Although, she was most famous for her in-depth report on lynching for New York Age, despite she was in risk for her life of white mob violence. She was often ridiculed and ostracized by women's suffrage organizations in the United States for speaking out against lynching. Her most famous quotes include, "The way to right the wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them," and "One had better die fighting against injustice than to die like a dog or a rat in a trap." Now here's a timeline of the impact she had on the world. In 1893, Wells published A Red Record, a personal examination of lynchings in America. In the same year, Wells Barnett joined other African American leaders in calling for the boycott of the World's Columbian Exposition. In 1896, Wells formed several civil rights organizations, including the National Association of Colored Women. In 1989, she brought her anti-lynching campaign to the White House and called for President McKinley to make reforms. In 1913, Wells founded a women's suffrage organization. Unfortunately, on March 25th of 1931, Ida B. Wells Barnett died of kidney disease at the age of 69. Throughout her life, she fought for equal rights and she was always an advocate for the minority. She left behind a legacy of social and political activism out of her bravery and courage, becoming an inspiration to many people, even until now, to stand up for what we believe in. Even though she's passed, her work is not yet done. Every minority out there is still getting discriminated against, but people still continue to fight for their rights. Thank you.